Do whatever's comfortable for you. There should be no pain. If you're in a position and you feel pain, get out of it, okay? So, I'm going to talk about disappointment today. So I think in life we've all had at least one or two disappointments. So today I was supposed to have a little mini spa day with my mom. You know, I was going to do a little manicure, pedicure to her, wash her hair and do it. She's 77, so she's not always agreeable. So I told her, be ready for 9:30, you know, and we'd spend the day together, or the morning together. And when I got there, she was still in bed sleeping. And I said, Mom, are we going to do the mani-pedi? She's like, no, I don't want to. So as a daughter, I felt very disappointed, a little hurt. I went home, and I have 3 sons of my own, all adults now. And my middle son was home, and he knew my mother was supposed to come back with me. And he's like, where's Nanny? And I was like, oh, she said she didn't want to. And, you know, we spoke a little bit about it, and I said, well, it just hurts a little bit because if ever my sons say, Mommy, let's hang out, I'm like, yeah, what are we doing, you know? And he said to me, that's okay. You can hang out with me. I get to hang out with my mom. And he saved the day. So my disappointment wasn't nearly as heartfelt as it would have been had I been sitting at home by myself thinking, my mom ditched me, you know. But like I said, she's getting older and she just wanted to stay in her own little bubble, you know. But when we face disappointment, we just have to be able to not take it personally, you know. Think of it as, well, maybe she was tired, you know. Who knows, maybe she didn't sleep well the night before. I didn't stay very long and question her. I just was like, okay, Mom, you have a wonderful day. And I went home, you know? That's, you know, I've learned when I'm faced with disappointment, I just say something like, I love you, especially if it's a loved one. I love you, have a good day. And I leave, you know? Because, sorry, at the end of the day, if the worst thing you say to me is, I can't believe my daughter, my mother, my wife, my whoever said she loved me, have a good day, or have a good day, well, I'm not going to feel too guilty about that, you know? So with that story being said, I would like you to either close your eyes or just look down in front of you and take a deep breath in through the nose and open your mouth and let it out. And another one. And one more. And now we're going to take one for Om. In through the nose. Om. Now we're going to set an intention. What are we coming here for? I mean, most of the time we're coming here because we want to be flexible and mobile. We want peace. We want clarity in the mind. There's so many things that we want. And we come here often to find these things or to help us clear our minds so that we can find these things. So whatever your intention is, take the time now to think about it. And if you're in any moves that are kind of challenging, just remember to go back to your intention. Think of what your intention is. With a deep breath in through the nose and let it all out with your mouth open. Just let that air out. So just go back to breathing normal and think about your intention for a second or two. unwind from a whole week of work. Often work is challenging. And at the end of the week, we're just looking to unwind in a healthy way. Two more breaths. And we'll meet at the top of the mat. So, feet width part of away and straight back, head facing forward towards the window. Bring your hands straight up as you inhale over your head. Just bend, just a slight little bend back. And on your exhale, fold over. And just relax like that for a little bit. You can rock from side to side, grab your elbows if you like. Just stay like that for a moment. And on your next inhale, hands under the knees, back straight, like you're trying to get your head out the window. And then hands on either side of the feet. Bring your right foot back, your left foot back. And now there's a few ways we can do this. We can bring our knees down, chest, chin, and slide forward. And baby cobra. And then bring ourselves back onto our knees and meet down in downward facing dog. Or we could go from the plank and lower ourselves slowly down. And bring ourselves back up on upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Now we're going to stay like that for 5 breaths. So when I say flow, you do whichever one works for you best. Bring yourself down slowly or bring your knees down. 5 breaths. Is anybody against an assist? If you don't want to be touched, just put your foot up.
I just have my toe is a little bit messed up, so I'm going to modify it, but
Okay.
you're going to assist me just so you know.
Okay, no problem. Third breath. And on our 5th breath, we're going to go up on our tippy toes to the best of our ability, bend our knees, look forward, and meet back up at the front of the mat. Hands just below the knees, back straight and stretched out, and then hang down again. And here again, you can just rock from side to side and just relax like that for 2 breaths. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Stretch those arms up like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Put them together and bring them down in front of your face. And we're going to do that again. So bring your hands all the way up, little back bend. Fold over at the hips. Hands under the knees, straighten the back. And hands on either side of your feet. Right foot back, left foot back, your version. Bring yourself down to your knees and slide, or bring yourself down slowly. And now, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Third breath. 4th breath.
So up on your toes, bend your knees, and back up to the front. Hands right below the knees, stretch your back like you're trying to get your head out the window. And then just hinge at the hips and bring yourself back down. And just relax like that for a second. And then bring yourself all the way back up, hands together, and bring them down in front of your chest. Now we're gonna, like we're trying to sit on a chair. Just squat down like you're trying to sit on a chair. Hands beside you and bring them up alongside your ears. One breath. And then bend over. On your inhale, hands right under the knees, stretch your back. And then on your exhale, hands on either side of your feet back into a plank, and lower yourself down, whatever's convenient for you. Baby cobra or downward facing dog. And then we'll meet, upward facing dog. Then we'll meet down in the downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Second breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Nothing should hurt. Sometimes you'll feel a little tension in areas that aren't used to being worked out and moved, but there should be no pain. And on our next breath, on our tippy toes, bend our knees and hop or walk up to the front of the mat. Hands under the knees, stretch the back. Bend over. Sink down into the chair position. Hands up, alongside your ears. And bring yourself back up. Hands together and down to the chest. Hands on either side of the feet. Bring your right foot to a 45-degree angle. And hands up beside your ears. Front knee bent, left knee bent, right knee straight. Warrior 1. 2 breaths. Now open up your arms, left hand in front, right hand in back. You're looking right over your middle finger. If your knee is caving in, just straighten it out. Keep your hands about shoulder width. Make sure you relax your shoulders though. 2 breaths here. Now we're going to straighten that left leg. Bring your right hip back a little bit and hinge over. This is where sometimes it might be easier to have a block. Or you rest your hand on the mat or on your ankle. And you can try to look up at the ceiling for 5 breaths. Your arm should be stacked right over the one that's on the ground. And you're looking over your shoulder if you can. 5 breaths. Third breath. Then from the hip, we hinge back up into Warrior 2, bend the right knee, and we're going to be like that for 5 breaths. Third breath. Then we're going to bend our left elbow, put it right over, a little over our knee, and then see if we can stretch our right hand over like you're trying to reach the window, while again, looking over your shoulder up at the ceiling. If you're feeling dizzy or wobbly like that, you can look straight ahead or you can look at the ground. 5 breaths like that. Third breath. Then we're going to hinge at the hips, back up into warrior 2. We're always looking over our middle finger. Like I said, keep your knee from going, caving in. Push it back out. 5 breaths. Last breath. Bring both hands to either side of your left foot. Bring your left foot back. And you're going to do your version of flow. And we'll meet back down in downward facing dog. We'll stay like this for 3 breaths. 1. 2. Now we'll turn our left foot at a 45 angle degree and bring our right foot up between our hands. Bring our hands up along our ears, and we're in warrior 1. Make sure your hips are facing forward, both hips. That like 5 breaths, please. Stay like that, 5 breaths. Third breath. Okay. So now we're going to open our arms. Right hand in front, left hand in back, looking over the middle finger, knee, make sure the knee isn't caving in. 2 breaths. Straighten the left leg, and here where you might want to use a block, and hinge over. Both arms should be stacked over each other. 5 breaths. Because you want to be straight as possible. Yeah. And on your 5th breath, hinge back up into warrior 2, knee, front knee bent, right knee bent, left leg straight, arms straight, looking over the middle finger, 5 breaths. On the next breath, you're going to bend your right arm, bring it down to your knee, and stretch that left arm like you're trying to get it out the window. 5 breaths, and you're looking over your shoulder to the best of your ability. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, you see if you can just stretch your arm a little bit further. 5 breaths. And on your 5th breath, hinge back up into warrior 2. Front knee bent, back knee straight, hands, the right hand stretched in front, left hand stretched in back. You're looking over your middle finger. 5 breaths. And on your last breath, bring your hands on either side of your right foot. Bring your right foot back and do your version of a flow. We'll meet back down in downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. If ever downward facing dog is too much, just go into a child's pose. Just to relax a second, catch your breath. Whatever's comfortable for you. If you're in child's pose, let's meet back up in downward facing dog. We're going to get on our tippy toes, bend our knees, and meet back up at the front of the mat. And then bring yourself up, roll yourself up for 1 vertebrae at a time. Your head should be last. Okay. So now we're going to bring our right leg up, hinge it out, and wherever you're comfortable, that's where you're going to put it. I personally am not great at balancing, so I put it at the lowest level, but whatever you're comfortable with. And then bring your hands up. Often it's easiest if you find a non-moving point to just stare at. That will help you. 5 breaths. Third breath. 4th breath. Now we're going to bring our knee back into our chest. Bring our leg down, our arms down, and just shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Now we're going to do the other side. Left leg up, knee into the chest. Swing your leg out, and wherever you're comfortable, just never on your knee. Above your knee, below your knee, on the mat, but never on your knee. And bring your hands up, and 5 breaths. Make sure you're staring at something that's not moving, that will help you balance. 5 breaths. If you lose your balance, it's okay. Just restart. It's great. On your last breath, bring your knee up into your chest. Bring your leg down and your arms down and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Let's bring our shoulders back once or twice, and then forward. And now we'll meet down on the mat. Legs straight in front of us. Back straight. Bring your arms straight up. And you're going to hinge at the hips. Back should be straight. So wherever you see that you cannot go any further, that's where you stop. Lower your arms and let your head hang. You want your back straight. Five breaths. And on our next exhale, we're going to bring our arms straight up, bring our back up, lower your hands. So we're going to put our feet, the bottoms of our feet on the mat. Now, some people will make a V, some people will do variations. So the easiest way I have found is to hold on to the back of your thighs and keep your legs up like that. Maybe you want to do this. Maybe for you, it's easier with a strap. If you want me to get you a strap, I can get you a strap. So your version of a boat for 5 breaths. Third breath. And on your 5th and final breath, let your legs down. Now we're going to let our legs, put our feet together, let our legs fall down to the side. And you can hold on to your feet, back straight. And it's another one where we hinge from the hips. If you can, use your elbows to push your legs a little bit further down. And here again, the back should be straight and let your head hang. There should be no pain. You should be comfortable. If you can get your head almost down to the ground, that's great. And if not, whatever you're comfortable with, that's where you stop. 5 breaths. And on our 5th and final breath, we're going to sit back up, bring our legs back together, and we're going to do another boat. So, legs up, and wherever you're comfortable. 5 breaths. Third. 4th. And on your 5th and final breath, bring your feet down. So we're going to straighten out our legs. We're going to bring our right leg up into our chest and bring it over our left leg. Bring our right hand behind our back. And our left we bring over, and however you want to hold your right knee and twist. Now, on your inhale, you want to straighten your back, and on your exhale, you want to see if you could turn just a little bit more. 5 breaths. On our 5th and final breath, just bring yourself all the way over to the other side. 1 breath here. And meet in the front. Uncross your leg. And now we're going to do the other side. So bring your left knee in to your chest. Bring it over on the other side of your right leg. Left hand behind your back, which kind of helps you sit up straighter. Right hand up and over the knee. So you could have it like this or like this. And here again, on the inhale, straighten up your back. And on the exhale, see if you can turn a little bit further. 5 breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Thinking of your intention, keeping your mind on the practice. If you see you're wandering away. And on your last exhale, turn to the other side for 1 breath. And then meet in the front, legs straight. We're going to do 1 more boat, the last boat, for 5 breaths. Fourth breath. And on our 5th and final breath, we let our legs down. And we can just shake them out a little bit. So we're going to lay down on our backs. Bring the heels of your feet as close to your fingertips as possible. If you can touch your heels, that's fine. If not, that's okay too. We're going into bridge pose. So when you inhale, you bring up your lower, middle, and upper back. And if you can, you put your hands together underneath your back and roll in your shoulders a little bit. Keep your knees from splaying out. Sometimes you'll put a block in between that kind of controls them from going too far away from each other. And you stay like that for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4. And on your 5th exhale, bring down the upper, middle, lower back. And just let your legs fall to each side 2 or 3 times to neutralize the back. And then we're going to do that again. So if that is too strenuous for you, you can also just put a block underneath the lower back, the sacrum, and you could do an easier version. Otherwise, on your next inhale, raise your lower, middle, and upper back and intertwine your fingers, roll your shoulders under, and hold that for 5 breaths. As I said before, nothing should hurt. Might be a little uncomfortable because it's new poses that maybe you don't do very often. Especially many of us sit many hours of the day, whether it's driving or working at a desk. And on your 5th exhale, bring down your upper, middle, lower back. And we're going to windshield wipe our legs again. Let them fall to either side a few times. And then straighten out your legs. And we're going to bring them up. Now, you might feel more comfortable up against a wall, or again with a block underneath your sacrum. And keep your legs straight up for 10 breaths. Sometimes it's easier with your hands and your legs up. Fifth breath. 6. 9. And on your 10th and final breath, if there's a block underneath, remove it and bring your legs and your arms down if your arms were up. Now we're just going to bring our we're going to bring our feet flat on the mat and let them fall to your right side. And look over to your left side. And your arms can be straight, which is called a T, or you could bend them at the elbows upwards, which is a cactus. And just stay like that for 5 breaths. Both shoulders should be on the mat. Sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. Could have put a block between your knees, or a block or a bolster under one of your knees. 5 breaths. breath. Yes, exhale, bring your legs up, up and fall to the other side, and bring your head to the opposite side of your knees. Again, your arms could be teed, which is straight out, or cactus, which is bent at the elbows and up towards your head. 5 breaths. On your last exhale, bring your legs back up, straighten them, bring your arms over your head straight, and just bring your hands and your feet over to your right hand side. You're in a banana. We're going to stay like that for 5 breaths. 1. Sometimes it's easier to stay like that if you hold on to your wrist with one of your hands and put one leg over the other, at the ankles. And you should feel a stretch on the left-hand side. And on our next breath, on our next exhale, we'll come back to the center. And we'll go over to the left-hand side and do the same thing, legs and arms to the left-hand side. 5 breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. On our next exhale, we're going to straighten back up and we're going to set up for Shavasana. So if you want a blanket, if you want to put on layers, this is the time to do it. If you want a blanket, you can put up your hand and I'll bring you one. If you don't want a massage, put up a foot. Start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Just waking up your body a little bit. Maybe you want to stretch your hands over your head and stretch like you're just waking up for the first time. And you can bring your knees up into your chest and just rock from side to side a little bit. Just massage your back a little bit. And when you're ready, roll over onto your right side. And when you're ready, you can sit up in a cross-legged position. Take your time, there's no rush. It's whenever you're ready. We'll take in 2 deep breaths through the nose and out through the mouth. And the last one for Om. Put your hands in front of your chest together. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed your session. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.